Hello everyone, welcome to the video number 2 for Visual Basic for applications in Excel. And well, in this video we are going to see first how the code is automatically generated when we record a macro, so that we can start having a look and feel about what is the code that we are going to be generating manually, starting probably on the next video, so that we just get a little bit familiar with this code. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to drag my Excel to make a little bit of room, and probably you will not have this tab or this ribbon available right now. So come here to the backstage, click on File, Options. Well, basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna customize the ribbon. Remember, we can do it directly from here, from the main screen of Excel. But well, maybe I took you from from the long road. Here, just make sure in this part of the options that you have selected this option. Normally this is not selected, so just select it and click OK, and that should bring the developer tab available for you. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start recording a macro, but before, let's just open the Visual Basic editor. You can just click in this icon or press Alt F11. If you don't have this developer ribbon, you don't actually need it, but I think it's very nice to have this available. It's more, well, it has been very convenient for me, but you can just press Alt F11. That actually it kind of acts of like a toggle. You can press Alt F11 again and it would take you back to Excel. Press Alt F11, it would take you back again to the editor for VBA. So now here we're going to be seeing what's happening while we record a macro. So let's click in this button that we have right here. You can also click right here on the bottom. And we have this dialog box that says record macro. We're going to name our macro. Now for naming the macros, I'm going to do something. Just my first macro. I'm going to click OK, and I get this error. It says verify that the name starts with a letter or an underscore, doesn't include any spaces. That's my error right here, or character that isn't allowed. For characters that are not allowed, just stick with letters and numbers and maybe underscores. That's it. So any other type of weird symbols, just don't use those in your name and you should be fine. And that the name is not conflicting with another existing name in the workbook. So what we can do is just replace this with underscores, just like that, or use what is known as a camel case or camel casing. So basically the first letter of any consecutive word, you just put it with a capital letter. You can assign a shortcut to execute the macro. Now there are many already existing shortcuts or keyboard shortcuts with control in a letter. So if we do, for example, Control M, we might be overwriting some other shortcut, pre-existing shortcut. So what you can do is just press Shift and then the M. So now the shortcut key is going to be Control Shift M. Where do you want to store the macro? Well, usually you're going to use this workbook. You can use the personal macro workbook, but that's for another thing. Right now, just leave it in this workbook, and here you can place a description. This is an example. Just like that. Click OK. And here you should see these modules file added. You can expand it. Let's go ahead and expand it, and then double click on the module 1, and you should be seeing this. As you can see, this is actually the name that we assigned to the macro. We have this is an example. This is basically the description we typed in, and it tells us that it has a keyboard shortcut assigned that is Control-Shift-M, and then the end of the subroutine. So now what we're gonna do, in here I'm gonna click A1, and as you can see, it has already started typing. So what VBA is gonna be doing now, it's gonna detect some what we can call, I guess, meaningful actions, and it's gonna start writing that code. Okay, it says you selected the range A1. Basically, I think you can read it backwards. So it says you selected range A1. Then I'm gonna write my name, press enter. So now it says, okay, on the active cell, you write this, and then you move to the range A2. And here I'm gonna type a formula. So again, it records that and says, okay, then you move to the cell A3. Well, it already did the out of it. I'm gonna change like that, then do the out of it manually by me. And well, as you can see, I mean, here what is happening, it's that VBA is recording those meaningful actions, some actions that have an effect on the final result of the worksheet in this case. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stop recording. Just click here on this square. You can also do it here on the bottom. So now we have finished. You can now click freely and nothing is gonna be recorded. And well, basically now we can just reproduce this. I'm gonna select this and delete it. So let's just click this green arrow, this play button right here, and it's done. It's automatically done. It remakes the actions that I recorded. You can use the shortcut, the Control-Shift-M. So let's do Control-Shift-M. Well, you gotta select you gotta be inside of the code. Control-Shift-M. I'm sorry, you gotta be in Excel. There you go. So it's done. Now another thing, and this is very interesting, especially when we start debugging our code to see what's happening and what's going on, especially when we have to fix some errors. You can press the F8. Well, F5 should run the macro just like we did with the play button, just like that. With the F5, you have to be here. I mean, you have to select the VBA editor. The keyboard shortcut is when you are inside of Excel. Well, what I'm gonna do now, here you can come directly to the code and make your changes. These are strings of text. I mean, this is not a formula, at least not for VBA. VBA just write this piece of text in this cell, and then it turns out that, well, this is interpreted as a formula by Excel. But for VBA, it's just a piece of text. So let's do the F8, press, and as you can see, we have highlighted in yellow, and we have that yellow arrow on the left. So it tells me that that line is just about being executed. So if I press F8 again, it goes to the next line. It execute, which is basically just starting the subroutine, and it goes to the next line. So it tells me, okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna select A1. So we should see that this moves from here to here. Press F8, and it does. And now it tells, okay, so in the active cell, which is A1, I'm gonna write this piece of text. It does that. Then I'm gonna move to A2. Then I'm gonna write that piece of text, which turns out to be a formula for Excel. And I'm gonna move again. I'm gonna make the column width equals to 9. I'm gonna select A4, and then I'm gonna do an autofit for the entire column. And then I'm gonna end the subroutine. And there it is. So well, that's basically it, what I wanted to show you in this video. This is the type of code that we are gonna be generating or writing manually. I think many times, many code that we're gonna be writing is gonna be simpler than this. This can look a little bit intimidating at first, especially if you have never programmed before anything in your life. This can look a little bit weird, but again, especially for native English speakers, this is, I think, very natural. Okay, select this range, and then in the active cell, just write this, and then the column width is gonna change to this, and so on. So now you can have an idea of what we're gonna be doing, but manually, and of course, we're gonna be able to do much more things that what we have done here just by giving a few clicks on Excel. So things that we are not being able to do with just with clicks, we're gonna be typing the code, and we're gonna do very nice, I think maybe even amazing things with Excel, especially if you haven't seen these things before. I think you're gonna have a very nice surprise. So please stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you like this video, you find it useful, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And well, as always, thanks all of you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.